Hey now, today I'm going to make my favorite savory sourdough, which is a Portuguese-inspired sourdough. It's going to capture a lot of the flavors that I associate with Portugal, including smoky paprika, fresh parsley, nice salty cured presunto, as well as some spicy olives. So what I'm going to do here right off the bat is I'm starting off with 77.5% hydration, so that's just filtered water there that I've got at room temp. I'm going to be adding to that, this is fresh parsley and it's 5% based on baker's percentage. Just get that in there. This is 2.5% of smoky paprika. Then to that I'm going to be adding this is just white baker's flour. This is going to make 2 loaves for me, so that was a full kilogram of flour. In the recipe that I'll have posted in the information, it'll show you just the breakdown based on baker's percentages. So I'm going to mix this up for a few minutes and we'll take a look at what it looks like once it is all ready for the autolyse. Well, here we are after a few minutes of mixing. So I'm just going to cover this up. I'm going to let it sit on the counter and just engage in the autolyse until my leaven is ready. All right, so my leaven is super ready. It was nice and jiggly. I've already actually weighed it out, which is nice. I'm going to be using 25% of leaven here. If you want to check out my video on how I like to make that, that's also available on the channel. Get this in here, and I'm going to work it in for about 3 minutes until it looks like it's fully incorporated. I do like these darker looking base doughs here just because it's super easy to tell when that leaven is mixed all the way in, because I won't have any more traces of the whiter color there. So probably about 3 minutes, and then we'll see what she looks like. So there we are after a few minutes of mixing. You can see that all of that white of the leaven is fully incorporated. The color of the dough has actually lightened up just a little bit. And now I'm going to give it a half-hour head start before we start mixing in the salt and whatnot. So just covering it up and setting it aside. Okay, so after that half an hour, I'm going to be adding my fine sea salt. I'm going with 1.4% salt rather than my usual 1.8, just because that presunto that's going in here is going to be contributing a decent amount of salt to it too, and I don't want to accidentally overdo that. So now I'm just going to take this, I'm going to work it in, probably take about 3 minutes, and once that's done, I'm going to recover and let it hang out for another half hour before I play with it again. All right, so after 30 minutes there, I'm going to do my first of 2 stretches and folds. I'm going to do the 2 of them because once I have the presunto and the olives in here, I'm not sure how well I'll be able to coil fold it, so I want to make sure to get some nice, good stretches in here while I can. So I'm going to cover this up, give it 30 minutes, do another stretch and fold, another 30 minutes, and then we'll come back for the lamination. All right, so we've had 2 stretch and folds with half an hour in between, and afterwards, I'm now ready to do the lamination. So for that, I'm just going to use my filtered water in a spray bottle. I'm going to spray down a nice big surface here and pop this out and get it all stretched out. Spread is looking super fun. I can't wait for this part here because I'm going to be adding some really fun ingredients to it now. For the lamination, you can see it's all about just kind of like pulling from the bottom underneath in the center and slowly just trying to stretch it out. And the goal here is to try to make sort of a rectangle. So that'll just take a minute to do. You can check out the Presentini over here that I've got. That's going to be going on the inside. So that's essentially a Portuguese presunto, which is very sort of similar to the Italian prosciutto. I'm calling it a Presentini though because it was just a part of the ham muscle that I dry aged. I actually have a video on it you can check out if you want to see this exact Presentini when I dry aged it in my curing chamber. The main difference with the presunto over the prosciutto is that the spices on it are different. It's given a huge heavy rub of red wine, paprika, garlic, and the Portuguese tend to use the entire pork leg as opposed to just the ham portion of that back leg. We're almost big enough here. So this is sort of an homage to a Portuguese bread that they make in the northern part of Portugal where my wife's family is from. And they make this bread with meat and parsley in it. I'm kind of kicking it up a little bit with the paprika, and I'm going to be putting in some spicy olives as well here. So anyway, this is looking like a pretty good little mat kind of setup, reasonably uniform. And it's time to add this. So I've got this, the Pizzantini here. You can see it was like extremely thinly sliced with my slicer, so I'm very happy with that. I'm going to be going ahead and just kind of layering it in here, throwing a bunch of that down. And then I've got the olives here as well. So for the Pizzantini, I'm using 10% by baker's percentage, and I'm using 15% for the olives. And this is a spicy olive that we made up here. There's olive oil, there's sun-dried tomatoes, all kinds of fun stuff in it. All right, so I've got a nice little middle strip here. Now the idea is just to fold it over into that third, give it a little pat. Then I'm going to add more fun ingredients here, more the Pizzantini. And we're going to get some more olives on here in a second as well. Oh yeah, lots of nice olives there. And then just repeating that folding over process here, and tapping out some of the air pockets that might be created. Some more meat. More olives. Starting to run out of olives. I was a little heavy-handed with that first dose, but that's okay. It's all going to be inside, which is what matters. Fold over this way by a third. I'm going to get the rest of this meat into here, and the last of the olives as well. There'll be some olive oil left behind, and that's okay. I don't need all of that in the bread. And final fold up over top here. And just pop this back into the bowl. I'm going to cover it again, give it a half hour, and then we'll start some coil folds on it. All right, so after half an hour, I'm going to do the first coil fold. Oh yeah, it's a little stiff with all the stuff that's in it. Sort of what I expected. So I'm just going to do this. I'll probably try to do another one in 30 minutes, but this is also kind of getting jiggly enough. I think we're kind of nearing the end of this bulk fermentation phase. So I'll try it out and I'll let you know how it goes afterwards. All right, so I wound up doing 2 coil folds, and looking at this, it's really nice and jiggly here and looking nicely fermented. It's pulled up nice. So I'm going to go ahead and actually divide and pre-shape here. So I'm just going to get some more flour down on the counter, filling some here where I'm going to plunk it out, and hopefully this comes out all right. Ooh, there we go. Very nice. Oh, look at all that stuff in there. Sweet. Okay, so split right down the middle. Loaf number 1. A little flour on my hands here. Do a nice, gentle pre-shape. I've got to make 2 loaves of this because this is a bit of a holiday tradition now, and I'll be giving one of these to my Portuguese in-laws, actually. Hence the 2 loaves instead of just the 1. And there, nice little pre-shape. Pop this over here, let them sit for maybe about 10 minutes or so, and then we'll do the final shaping. Okay, after 10 minutes here, I'm ready to do a final shaping. I'm just going to throw a little extra rice flour in my bannetons here. That'll prevent some sticking. And flour up just a little bit here. Let's do this first one. I don't want to mess around with it too much. I'll just tighten it up a little bit more. And then it's pretty much ready to go. Do the same here with the other one. Just a little more shaping. And I'm also going to sprinkle the tops of these with just a little bit of rice flour, as I'll be flipping them upside down into the bannetons. Alright, so now let's just cover up. I'm going to let them proof in the fridge overnight, and then we will bake in the morning. Alright, so after the overnight proof, I've got the oven preheated at 500 degrees, and it's been sitting up at that temp for probably about half an hour now. So it is time to actually bake these guys. So, fire my parchment over top. Then use my pizza peel to flip it. Don't really need any more flour on there. Let's go for a simple scoring pattern across the top here. A little X. Oh my goodness. That's hassle right there. A sec here. I think it's time to switch blades. across here. Oh, rookie mistakes. Okay. All right, and put that in the oven. See if I can avoid screwing up on the second one here. When that happens, of course, it's important not to panic. Here we go. All right. Get this one here. I'm going to cover them up with the combo cookers and give them, let's see, half an hour, and I'll do that at 440 degrees. All right, after half an hour, oh yeah, nice little oven spring. It smells amazing in here. Oh, meat and olives. I love it. Okay, I'm just going to reduce the heat down to 430 and give it probably another 20, 25 minutes. We'll see. All right, it's been just over 20 minutes. These are looking beautiful. I'll just pop them out onto a cooling rack. Oh, it smells so amazing in here. So I'm going to let these cool down, and then we'll slice into them once they're cool. Well, here we are, all nicely cooled down. Time to slice in and see what she looks like on the inside here. Oh man, beautiful orange color. You can see the olives, you can see the presunto. Oh yeah, little bits of that parsley. Oh man. Okay, tell you what, I'm cutting off a slice. I gotta toast it up. I'll be right back. Oh man, check that out. It's got some amazing melted butter drizzled all over it here. It's nice, it's hot. I need to dig in here immediately. So delightful. Yeah, what can I do for you? Yeah, you can try. Here, come and have a bite. There you go. Beautiful. You get the slight smokiness from the paprika. There's the spiciness and the tang of those olives. The saltiness from the presunto. And then that kind of that fresh earthy pop from the parsley. This is beautiful. Family favorite around here. So yeah, if you like it, subscribe. Check out more cool stuff we have coming down the pipe. In the meantime, I'm going to devour this, and you guys keep it at 11.